Great day, you guys. If you are watching this video, that is because you have submitted an application for a mortgage. Yay! Congratulations! You just took the first step in the home buying process. So now I just want to share with you a couple things that we're going to be doing next. So if you found this video because you're working with another loan officer, your process will be similar, but there may be some components that are a little different. If I sent you this video because I'm working with you closely, directly, then make sure you get pen and paper and get ready to take some notes, okay? Also, make sure that you send me a message, say, hey, Ashlynn, I've watched the video and I would like for you to give me a guide, okay, homeownership guide. So I'm super excited to help you guys get into your home. So one of the first things we're gonna do after we pull credit and we've reviewed your statements and your numbers, we know exactly how much you're gonna be approved for. At that point, we're gonna partner you with your agent. We're gonna have a conversation, me, you, and your agent, and we're gonna talk about what types of homes you guys wanna look into buying. Once your agent has done their digging and they find a property that you guys absolutely love, from that point, you're actually going to put in an offer. Once you submit that offer to the seller, it basically says that you're interested, you want to buy this property, and it goes for review. So the seller's agent along with the seller are going to review the offer. Once that offer is accepted, you're officially in what we call contract. So you've agreed to purchase this home from the sellers. So the very next thing we're going to need to do is prepare for your earnest money deposit. So your earnest money deposit is usually 1% of the purchase price. And so that is going to be your very first wire. So think about it this way. Whenever you make a purchase, whether it's a car or gas, groceries, whatever it is, it's a purchase in exchange for money, a resource, a good in exchange for money. So similar circumstance for your home purchase. The only difference is the amount that you send over as your earnest money deposit is going to go into something we call escrow. So you're going to hear us use that term frequently. And escrow is basically a third-party agency that helps to facilitate the transaction. Your escrow company is going to be responsible for making sure that everybody gets paid fairly and evenly based off of what it is that they're doing as their involvement in the transaction. So there's going to be another part to this where I'm going to talk specifically about the escrow process once we're there. So stay tuned. But once you've sent over your earnest money wire, from that point, you are in escrow is what we call it. So this is the point in the transaction when you are under very heavy scrutiny about any transactions, no purchases, no pulling from your savings, no new credit. Don't close anything, because by this point your credit has already been reviewed and everything is prepared and ready for the next steps for you getting into your home, okay? So we don't want to change anything that could possibly jeopardize that, all right? So hold tight. If there's an emergency, if something comes up, anything happens, I need to be your first point of contact or your loan officer. Please reach out to us immediately and let us know so that way we can create a game plan to handle whatever the circumstances, okay? So once we are in escrow, okay, escrow does their magic, title does their magic, and then of course at that point, once everything falls into line, the research is done, underwriting has given their stamp of approval. At that point, you get something called a clear to close, which means that the escrow company can now begin creating those documents that are required to do your record keeping with the county and exchange keys, right? So you're the new owner, the sellers are the old owner, and how do we make that transition, right? So escrow is responsible for a lot. They do a lot. And once that clear to close is done, it gives us that green light to know that everything is in a position where we can start preparing for your move into your home. Okay, so it's kind of the very last tidbit of the transaction. A couple things that I'd like to mention as we're embarking upon this journey. You definitely want to make sure that you are open and flexible. So when you're getting ready to work with your agent and you're looking at different places that you want to live, sometimes it's a little easier to say, okay, maybe we don't want to be in one specific area, but we would be open to maybe 2 or 3 cities over here, right? Just to kind of help give you more of a broad scope of possible options that you may be able to get into that home. Another tidbit and suggestion that I love to share is do one thing at a time. Buying a home is very much it's designed so that way every component of the transaction has these checks and balances. So one of the worst things you can do is try to put the cart before the horse and try to rush the process. There is no rushing the process, and if it's rushed, sometimes you can drop the ball. Sometimes there are possible things that can be missed, and we never want that, especially for your first transaction. So even though you may not see things happening, just know that there are a lot of things that go on in the background that you may not hear about or know about. And I'm very good about checking in at least once a week so that way you can get an update and you'll know exactly where we are. As we get closer to the ending of the transaction, you may hear from me every couple of days because things have to be done a little bit faster towards the end of the transaction. But it is definitely one of those things where you want to take one thing at a time. You really don't want to overwhelm yourself or create an additional stress because you're trying to absorb too much of the transaction at once. And then lastly, you've partnered yourself with a professional by reaching out to even do and submit the application. So rest assured, I'm available to answer any questions that you have. I'm here to be a resource. If there's something that I cannot answer for you firsthand, I have a very great team that I can reach out to and pick their brains. And if for some reason it's something that I personally have not experienced, I can always reach out to my team to see who has had that experience and see how they were able to brainstorm and fix that and create a solution, because that's what we're about here. It's figuring out how to create solutions, right? And making sure that this transaction goes smoothly and efficiently for everybody that's involved. So I am so happy to be supporting you throughout your home buying journey. This is just the beginning of a very long-lasting relationship, because even after you close on this property, guess what? I'm officially part of the family. So any real estate transaction you need after that, I'm here. If you need to pull out equity because we're sending kids off to college, or you need to cash out refinance for home renovation, whatever it is, I am your resource to be able to help make sure that goes smoothly for y'all, okay? So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, you can either comment below or send me an email, say, hey Ashlynn, I want a home buyer guide. It's a free resource that recaps all of the steps that we're gonna go through in this home buying journey, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's buy a house, y'all.